You're going to enjoy this. This is a impressive man. And on our way to the Olympics in London, Michael is on a regular basis profiling South Australians who are involved in the London Olympics. And it was my pleasure today to speak with Johan Linde, a super heavyweight Australian boxer from South Australia, of course. And it's an amazing story because he started boxing at the beginning of, 2001. He was a young guy. He was crowned the South Australian heavyweight champion in 2003, 2004, but he decided to give it away and concentrate on academic life, and then came back only 2 years ago and now finds himself selected for the London Olympics, which is, you have to say, an extraordinary achievement. It was my pleasure to speak with Johan Linde earlier this afternoon.
How are you, Spence?
You join us from Canberra today, having a fairly hectic schedule at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, we're pretty flat out at the moment, getting ready. It's kind of it's only a month to go, so the last-minute preps are all being made.
Your story is an interesting one. It's a unique one, that's for sure, because you actually turned away from boxing in 2004, but then stepped back into the ring in 2010, and 2 years later you make the Olympic squad. That's an incredible achievement.
Yeah, well, thanks. I guess the focus of my life changed a little bit. I was training very hard at the time. I mean, I was only 20 years old, and I was physically training as hard as I could, but I mentally wasn't doing the right things, and I ended up burning myself out. So my life changed paths a little bit, and I thought, I should probably get an education. So I went to university, and I guess after university, it felt like I had a bit of unfinished business. I was only 25 and a half at the time, and I thought, I could give this a shot. I had a couple of people in Adelaide that were getting behind me a lot, telling me that, I could be a champion, and I, as long as I put in the work, and I guess that was kind of the turning point for me at that time.
So during that period of retirement, I guess or that hiatus, I guess, in your boxing career, as you say, you went on to university and you work full time now for the Department of Treasury and Finance, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So during that period, did you maintain a level of fitness that made you confident enough that you could get back into the sport at the highest level?
Yes and no. I mean, look, I did keep reasonably fit. I mean, I guess in terms of the average person, yeah, I probably was a little bit fitter than the average person. I did keep going to the gym a couple of times a week and doing a bit of weight training and, running around, playing soccer and playing tennis and things like that. But in terms of the level of fitness that, we're at now, that, where we're required to be, I was absolutely nowhere near that level. But I guess once you keep a base going, you can always kind of build on that. So it hasn't been too difficult.
Gee, you must have cut an imposing figure on the soccer pitch, Johan. A super heavyweight boxer running around a soccer pitch. No one would have come anywhere near you, would they?
I might look scary, but I can tell you what, I'm not the most nimble on my feet on the soccer field.
So 2 years after you decide to step back into the ring in 2010, you make the squad for the Australian boxing team at the Olympics. You've won the super heavyweight title for Australia and Oceania. Wow. I mean, the commitment you must have put into your cause in that 2 year period must have been extraordinary. Did you actually get a chance to have a personal life or not?
Well, I mean, look, luckily for me, I love training. I love getting in the gym. I love getting on the track. I love, sweating and putting in the hard work. And I mean, I guess that you have to have that. You have to have that drive and that self-motivation to really be able to do it. I mean, without having that self-drive, it probably would be pretty difficult for it to happen. And I mean, I don't really know what it is in me or about me, but I just seem to love it. Like I'm drawn to it. I always have been, and I guess pretty much, yeah. I haven't had too much of a personal life, but I can't really go out with my mates and drink, and I can't do all those things. But I mean, at the end of the day, for me, it's a small sacrifice because that's what I want to do in my life. So, if you're striving towards what you want to do, then you'll always be happy. So, I'm a pretty happy person most of the time.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. I'd hate to see you in an angry mood, Johan.
Yeah, I don't get angry. I don't get angry too often. In the ring when someone hits me hard, that's pretty much when I want to hit them back harder, and that's probably about the only time I kind of get angry.
Super heavyweight division. So, what are your actual physical stats, Johan?
I'm 1.99 m, almost 2 meters, not quite there, and about 100 and at the moment I'm walking around at about 103.5 kilos, 104.
Wow. And
Yeah.
your reach, how does your reach compare with others in your category?
I actually haven't done measurements on my reach, so I don't know the exact stats, but it probably is the average length, maybe a little bit longer because I'm so tall. But for example, there's the light heavyweight in our team, Damien Hooper. I think his reach is probably longer than mine, but he's got go gadget arms. So,
That's an advantage when you're a boxer, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's an advantage, but the thing is, you have to know how to use it. It took me, many years to actually learn how to use that reach because, you can have those long arms, but unless you know how to step at the right moment and throw the punch at the right moment, it can actually be a disadvantage if you're against someone shorter that constantly closes the gap on you.
Okay.
So,
and I guess it's also the timing in actually making contact, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, it works both ways. If you know how to use it, it's an advantage. But if you don't, then it's actually a disadvantage. I mean, you see guys like Mike Tyson. He was a relatively short and small heavyweight, but he was so quick moving in on guys that the reach he cut down their reach straight away. So,
What's going on in your life at the moment, Johan? You're in lockdown, basically in Canberra, in anticipation of what you're off to Ireland in a couple of weeks' time, aren't you?
Yeah, we're off to Ireland on the 16th of July, and that's going to be like an acclimatisation camp for about a week. And I don't know why Northern Ireland, I guess because it's close, but also maybe there's a few tough guys down there that we can spar with. Perhaps, I don't know, I've heard a few stories, so it should be fun.
Yeah, you stay away from that Guinness.
Well, mate, I haven't had a drink since we qualified for the Olympics towards the end of March. There, I only had a couple of beers as well, so I think I'll be all right.
Yeah.
But pretty much until then, we're just here in Canberra at the IS and just training very hard. We're heading off to Sydney this weekend for some sparring against some professionals. I'm not sure who Coach Don has lined up for me, but I'm sure it will be. Sure, it'll be torturous, whoever it is.
Yeah, and what about the diet while you're in Canberra? You've just had lunch. What did lunch consist of, Johan?
Okay, lunch was just a tuna wrap with just some salad, vegetables in it and stuff, and I had a little bit of pasta as well, just a vegetable bake. It's a bit. I struggle to keep my weight on. The level that we train at, I need to kind of consume so many calories that I generally will lose weight unless I'm overeating I'm eating more than what I want to eat. So it has been quite difficult, but a little trick of mine has been to get up at midnight and have a protein bar and a couple of tubs of yogurt and go back to sleep, and that's kind of helped me keep my weight on at about 104.
Right. How many eggs would you consume on a daily basis?
I probably have. I generally have 4 at breakfast, but I mean, it depends. I don't have it every day. But I mean, ideally, I would like to be having, about 8 a day. That's what I do when I'm not in full boxing training. If I'm, say, doing a bit of strength and conditioning work, and it's not close to a tournament, I'll up the eggs and the protein then.
What are your expectations in London, Johan?
I guess my expectation of myself is to get in the medal rounds. I mean, I really want a medal, and I've been doing the video analysis with Coach Don and Coach Mick here, and I honestly think that I've got a chance to win a medal. They believe in me and think I am as well. And I guess it all depends on the draw. With boxing, a lot of it comes down to who you draw in the first and second round. I guess it's similar to tennis at the moment. We're seeing in Wimbledon. Leighton Hewitt drew Songer.
Yep.
And put the end to him pretty quick. So in a way, it's a similar thing for us. But certainly, I'm aiming for a medal. Anything less will be disappointment for me. I'll be doing everything I can to get through to the medal rounds, which for me will be my 3rd fight. I need to win 2 fights. Once I get through those 2 fights, then I'll be in the medal rounds.
And the super heavyweight division really is the eagerly anticipated division, isn't it? That's the one that everyone wants to go. That's where the big boys really come out to play, don't they?
Well, everyone loves watching the big guys go at it because they know that someone's going to fall like a big tree at some point. I mean, you don't see many knockouts in the other divisions, mainly because, I mean, one, in the amateurs, you've got the head guards on it and stuff, but also secondly, it's such a quick pace. You need to score points, and generally when you're throwing at such a quick pace, you're not trying to land power shots. You're trying to score the points. But in the super heavyweights, it's a whole different kettle of fish because they're big guys. I'm probably one of the lighter guys in the division. So, but I'm probably one of the faster ones too. So, at the national titles, I beat a guy that was 138 kilos, and he was an absolute monster.
Wow.
So I mean, but the downside of that is they're not fast enough. It's no good being heavy and powerful if you're too slow to land a punch. So I mean, that's my advantage, I think, anyway, taking in my speed.
How do you physically rate yourself at the moment? How do you actually feel physically in yourself? Are you sore? Are you nimble? Are you feeling on top of your game? How do you physically feel yourself?
I feel on top of the world at the moment. I mean, it's hard to describe because you wake up in the morning and you're exhausted, and for some reason they always put me on the top. We've got three levels in our residence where we are, and they always put me on the top level. I don't know why, because they think I've got long legs and I can get up there easy or something, but man, in the mornings coming down and up the stairs is such a struggle, and you feel so exhausted. But having said that, you also feel like you could run a marathon. It's your body is so fit and so finely tuned that whenever coach says, all right, we're training, you're ready to go, and you just push 100% all the time. And I think that's the key. You push when you have to, and then as soon as you can get the recovery and the rest, you really have to take advantage of it and rest. Yeah. And particularly for me, I mean, I'm 29 actually. My birthday's today, so I've turned 29, and I'm the oldest guy on the team, so I've really got to take the recovery and rest when I can.
All right. Well, you're not going to get back to Adelaide between now and the end of the Olympic Games, so you better say hello to your family and friends here in Adelaide, because I'm sure they'll be pretty keen to see you do well.
Yeah, well, hi, Mum. Hi, Vicky, my fiance, and all my mates. If any of you are listening, thanks for all the support, and can't wait for getting over there, and hopefully you see me on telly.
Let's hope so. Johan Linde, look, what an absolute delight to talk to you. I wish you all the best for London.
Oh, thank you, mate. Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity. Cheers.
What a good guy. Johan Linde, South Australian super heavyweight boxer, headed for the Olympics in Canberra at the moment, involved in a very intense training regime, and off to Ireland in a couple of weeks' time to acclimatise, and then off to London for the Olympics. What an extraordinary experience. We will certainly maintain